Bob Carr here with another episode of the Bob Carr Show. In the studio today, Mr. Bo from RL Productions. Mr. Bo, what's on your mind, sir?
Thank you for having me back on the Bob Carr Show there, Bob. Today, I wanted to talk to you with a little bit of a recap of the turkey trot at the Glen that we talked about a few weeks ago. I just want to let you know that we were able to raise over $2,000 for the two more for Trooper Foundation, and all of that went to both Barks and Feeding America. So we were able to raise a lot of money for those charities. Basically, what happened, especially with Barks, is we got $575 raised for them alone, and then the Nancy Shirts Foundation, Family Foundation, they were matching all donations up to $100,000. So we were able to raise 5,000 meals essentially for food banks all across the country for Feeding America. So the event that lasted just over 3 hours ended up doing a lot of difference for local fur friends in the area, as well as meals for Americans all across the country.
That was awesome.
It was a great success. It'll certainly be back next year, and we're already looking forward to next year and bringing in even more charities and hopefully even more donors.
Trooper will be proud.
It's all for Trooper.
Absolutely. Good calls, though.
Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. Yeah. Good work.
Trooper made all this happen with how generous.
He was a good boy. I remember
him
him coming in here to the studio and hanging with us several times.
It was an absolute blast. But now what I really want to talk to you about, TLC is going to be sponsoring this, of course, the TLC 24 Beers of Daytona coming up at the very end of January. Basically, we will have 2 weeks of events for this, and it mirrors what the 24 hours of Daytona is in real life.
Gotcha.
So over a 24-hour period, we will be racing. We will not be racing 24 hours straight. We will actually be racing for 12 hours in that allotted time. But within that 24-hour period, we'll do those 12 hours. And it's a social racing event similar to some of the others we have had. Turkey Trot was more of a competitive race. This is more of a social race where it is competitive, but we are not giving out cash prizes or anything like that. This is more for the camaraderie and for the enjoyment of the event. And where the 24 beers play on words comes into play is each driver is going to have a required amount of beer that they have to drink during the course of the race. So
wait a minute. Let me stop you right there. You're going to drink beer and race a car.
Yeah.
Oh,
a virtual car.
Oh, virtual car.
Not a real car.
All right, that's a little different.
Yeah. We do not condone drinking and driving.
Okay.
That's why
I just want to make sure that was clear for all the listeners out here.
That's why we do it on the virtual platform.
Okay.
It's all through iRacing.
Just making sure it was clear.
No legitimate, no physical driving. It's all virtual through the iRacing platform.
Okay. All right.
And that's what makes the event so fun.
Gotcha. Okay. Sounds like it's going to be a good time.
It is, and of course, when anybody tunes into those broadcasts on Grid Vision, they'll be able to see your beautiful face throughout in the commercial blocks. We'll have all of our TLC sponsored ads for irrigation and lawn sprinkler services, outdoor lighting. We'll have drainage up for that time, because that time of year, especially, you're going to be getting into the thaw where drainage and spring startups is going to be. You're going to have to start pushing that out. So those will be in the commercial blocks for sure.
So people can go into the link below and tune in?
Yeah. So basically, you'll go to Grid Vision TV on YouTube. Make sure that we have those links in the description here. You can subscribe to them, and it'll tell you all the times that we get on the track. The race itself, format-wise, is going to be 3 different classes: the NASCAR Next Gens, the GTP class, and the GTE class. So the GTP and GTE class are IMSA classes, essentially. They are sports cars, if you will, one being a prototype hypercar and the other being more sports cars, similar to what you would see on the street, but juiced up. And having all 3 of those classes in this event makes it a very different kind of event. That's a lot of fun for all of the drivers that from, I believe we already pretty much officially know that we'll have at least 15 states represented over 3 continents and 5 different countries partaking. So a full-on international event.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very exciting. We hope to even expand that further. And that's why we're here today on the Bob Carr Show, to hope this reaches some other drivers that might want to join this year's 24 Beers.
So on a serious note, is Mr. Whitcomb, would he be driving, Mr. Whitcomb himself?
I'm not allowed in the office after hours.
That's not true at all. Austin is what we call a crew chief. So what he's allowed to do is drink a certain amount of beers for himself.
No.
They cannot affect our team's total, but he can drink a certain amount of beers, and they go towards the 2 More for Trooper donations that we will be taking again for this year.
So Austin's going to have to pay you a couple bucks here at the end.
Well, essentially,
Yeah.
I'll have to pay myself
Yeah.
for him raising money. By him drinking the beers, I have to.
You have to match it.
Yeah. So for the whole 2 More for Trooper thing came from every driver that drank 2 more than their required beer. I donated $10.
Well, that's a good cause, though. Having fun, same time, but doing the right thing for pets.
That's the thing. You know, if I knew that while we were doing a hobby that is fun, that when we were doing it, mostly it was just all of us in our sim rig rooms, not.
Yeah.
You know, just benefiting ourselves.
Yep.
So I saw an opportunity to do more with that time.
Help out the animals. Help out a lot of dogs.
Yeah. My goal is that we'll raise $5,000 in 2024, and I hope to surpass that.
Absolutely. This will be off to a good start for January.
Exactly.
Good deal. Bo, appreciate you coming in the studio today.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate you always allowing me to talk on the Bob Carr Show, and appreciate everything TLC does for the Thunderclap Exhibition Series, as well as the official Stock Car Series.
And this wraps up another episode of the Bob Carr Show. And stay tuned next week for another episode.